Hello and welcome to Political Quickie, your political show that subjectively discusses political headlines in South Africa and all around the world. My name is Mapaseka Mura. The DA has laid criminal charges against the Guptas for violating the Prevention Against Organized Crimes Act. That is a mouthful, by the way. This order in light of the 2013 Gupta wedding that took place and apparently it was funded by the state. I mean, if there's anything that like kind of weirds me out is the fact that organized crimes reminds me of Pablo Escobar, and Pablo Escobar reminds me of cartels, and cartels did not remind me of an Indian family called the Guptas. It's just like, how does this even happen? If there's anything I know is that the courts will deal with this accordingly. And that's my commentary today. I just want to commend our judicial system and just the integrity that it has carried itself with. South Africa has three arms of government. This is just a background. We've got the judiciary, which consists of our courts. We have the executive, which consists of the presidency, and we have the parliament, which is our legislature. There's this concept called the trust politica, and in essence it deals with the separation of power in government, which is those three arms, and them performing checks and balances on each other, so they must keep each other in check, right? And in terms of parliament and the executive, there's been some blurred lines over there, simply because majority of members of parliament are in the same political party as the head of the executive. So yeah, but in terms of the judiciary, it's completely independent. They should all be independent, but the judiciary has seemed to be the one that is absolutely independent. And we see this in the judgments it has made in terms of the Nkandla case, the clarification it has brought to us in terms of how the recommendations of the Chapter 9 institutions are binding, the way it dealt with that whole ICC and the Omar al-Bashir situation, and whether or not I think we should still be part of the ICC is another conversation altogether. But I just want to say, the judiciary has proven that indeed there is a separation of power. And in this whole political mess, it's kind of kept its head in the game and its head all clear. And I just want to congratulate. Yes. So, moving right along. The SABC has fired a man by the name of Ravi Govender. Yes, Ravi Govender. He was a radio presenter on Lotus FM, and he went to Facebook and he called Jacob Zuma a zombie. And in his defense, he said during the 5th ANC policy conference, when Jacob Zuma delivered his speech, he sounded dead to him, and he sounded like he had no feelings and there was no punctuation. And Edward Zuma, who is Jacob Zuma's son, then said that he might take this whole thing. He suggested that he might take this whole situation to the Equality Court, saying that there's no difference in calling black people zombies and monkeys. Ravi Govender is an Indian man, by the way, and from my understanding, Indian people are black. But anyways, there's this bothersome inside that the ANC seems to use this very powerful tool known by politicians called divide and rule. Every time they find themselves in a pickle, they always go back to this, and they use two things: race and inequality to divide us. Is there racism in this country? Absolutely. Is there inequality in this country? Absolutely. But it's just befitting that every time something happens, whether it's in parliament or just in general, the ANC will always be like, that's racist. oh, that's white monopoly capital. And yes, those things are there, but it's nice to use them as a defense now, isn't it, ANC? Anyways, moving on to international news. Over there, to my other favorite country, the USA. It seems that there's a very interesting way that Donald Trump might be fired. This very interesting way is called the 25th Amendment. So Donald Trump might be exed if it is found that he is mentally or physically incapable to lead. And this is in light of, his tweets. Congress is, apparently very worried, like, are we okay there? Are we okay? And also, that video that he posted where he went to WWE, wrestling, yes. And this is back in the day, and he fought or he beat up McMahon. And he reposted that video, but sort of suggesting that this time he was tackling a CNN reporter. Does this sound anything normal to you? Does it sound normal at all? Oh, Donald Trump, no, like you were here, but no, you were just like, over there. But anyways, guys, keep your eyes fixed on politics. Be political, because being political is like super awesome. And everything is political, even if you're like, no, it's not political. No, like everything has to do with politics. Excuse me. So anyways, I love you. Be awesome. I will see you next week.